Well, I've done this before, but I'm going to do it again. This is going to be who will win the 2024 presidential race. Will it be Joe Biden? Will it be Donald Trump? Or will it be some mystery dark horse candidate? So I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please do like the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. Hey, I'm Mark, and this is my journey through tarot. Come on. Like I said, I've done a reading on this before, but now we have President Biden has said yes, he's running. It's definite, and he's got his campaign going. So I thought this would be a good time to maybe update that previous video. You never know. It could be some strange candidate that comes out of the blue somewhere who ends up sweeping the political spectrum and taking the cake. So that's what we'll read about. Okay. Joe Biden, how is he going to do in just 3 cards for this 2024 presidential bid? Joe Biden, 3 cards only in 2024. Let's see how that works out. 1, 2, and 3. Joe Biden. What can the cards tell us again about Joe Biden? First card, 2 of Swords. Okay, swords are great. This is truth and justice. The 2 of Swords is making a choice. Okay. What comes to mind right away is that, of course, he had to make a decision as to whether to run again. But I would thought that that was always in the cards. No pun intended for him. Next card, Joe Biden. The 5 of Swords. This is very interesting because swords, again, truth, justice, rules, and law. And the 5 of Swords is typically, in the normal Rider-Waite deck, it's an abuse of power. But in this deck, it shows us kind of control, kind of cutting out the pattern of what it is that you're going to do. It's interesting that these swords, represented by scissors, and a needle and thread, actually cutting out a dress pattern for a woman. And then the final card for Joe Biden, the 2024 bid, is the 7 of Pentacles, wondering if I've done enough. Pentacles are value. Maybe it's wondering if I can do I still have more to take from this tree, which is him. This kind of tells me he's had to make a decision. He's had to make sure that for this bid, at his age, for whatever reason, there needs to be a backup plan if he doesn't get to the end of it. That's what I think. The backup plan is that he has to cut out a pattern that includes some sort of address for Kamala Harris. And the whole thing is him considering whether he has enough left, okay, to finish that harvest. That's what I think is in his mind. This is a thoughtful man. This isn't a greedy man. This is a fellow who is considering the best for the country. What would happen if he didn't make it to the end of the candidacy, and I think also if he didn't make it to the end of a second term. That's what I believe. So the next 3 cards I'm going to draw are going to be for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, what do we see for Donald Trump in this bid for 2024? 3 cards. 1, 2, and 3. Donald Trump, 2024. What can the cards tell us? First card. Okay, this is the Four of Pentacles. Pentacles are value, and the Four of Pentacles is typically hanging on to your value, and that certainly is what he's trying to do. He's trying to hang on to all the value he may perceive that he has. This is, if you're not familiar with what this piece of furniture is, it's a pie safe. What is a pie safe? It's where when you baked a pie, you would put it in it, because some of you who are younger may not realize, or if you're not experienced with this kind of a piece of furniture, when you bake a pie, to let it cool, you put it in this pie safe, which has a mesh front on it, so that it can cool down. Flies can't get to it. Nothing can get to it. It has a safe place to cool down before you eat it. So Donald Trump, he's holding on to his value. Next card up is the Page of Wands. So wands are actions, plans, forward movement. But what do we have here? We have an adolescent page. The page is a messenger. He's merely the one who brings something to court to say, look, here's the idea. What do you think we can do with it? So what he brings to this at the very most is an amateurish message. And then the final for Donald Trump is the Four of Wands, short-term celebrations. So it could be that he has, which he shows right now, he's having a celebratory period here where he's strong in the polls. It looks like he'll probably get the nomination because the other Republicans are just falling to the wayside, but it's a short-term celebration. So Donald Trump, holding on to his value, he has a weak message and short-term celebrations. What about a dark horse candidate? Could there be some mystery candidate who swoops in and takes, the whole shooting match? Is there a mystery candidate? 3 cards. What can the cards tell us about that possibility? 1, 2, 3. 3 cards, mystery candidate. What will the cards let us know? Okay, first card. Okay, so we have the Five of Wands. Wands are actions, plans, forward movement. In this case, the wands are represented by dusters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see the dusters here. You can see this housewife is having to clean up. It's kind of, Five of Wands, it's kind of pointless arguing, or that's kind of what it represents. So let's see what the message can be here. The next cards for the mystery candidate is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is really practicing your craft, really getting it together perfectly until you get the job exactly right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Pentacles value. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 brushes. So this woman is practicing her craft. This woman is tidying up, but it's almost pointless because she's not the actual candidate. I'm thinking Kamala Harris. And then the last card is Judgment. Oh yeah. So it's interesting that this is represented by a stake on the scale, not having really any weight. So this is a meaty proposition that has to be judged because she doesn't carry the weight that some would expect her to have. I think the mystery candidate is Kamala Harris. That's what I think. So now, as I just mentioned, I've already recorded what would be the next part, which is a 6-card draw. So I'm going to end this video here and piece it together with what I've already done. Okay, so, well, this is good. It'll give you a chance to verify the first reading, I suppose. So we're going to ask about the race. What can the cards tell us about the race that's going to happen in 2024? What sort of a verification can the cards give us? And tell us how the race is going to go in just 6 cards. So that's what we'll look at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the signifier card is the 3 of Wands. So it looks like it's going to be a cleanup. The 2024 race, Wands are actions, plans, forward movement. And this woman is cleaning up something, cleaning up her house. So it looks like that race is going to talk about cleaning something up. The challenge to it is going to be this Knight of Wands. The Wands are actions, plans, and forward movement. And the Knight is the person who's going to fight for his cause. I guess this has to be Trump, but we'll see how it turns out better. So this woman cleaning house, is going to be challenged by this Knight of Wands. Looks like a foolish, immature competitor to Mom. The basis of this reading is the Queen of Swords. Okay, this is beautiful. Swords are truth, justice, rules, and law. And the Queen is the one who is absolutely going to have the authority to make things happen. And look, with these garden shears, she's even snipping off the rose of this person here. Interesting. That makes me think that this could be Joe Biden or Donald Trump. But she is the one who's left after that rose is trimmed. The past of this reading then is the 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords is knowing when to take a break, knowing when to be careful about moving forward. And we see that this woman is getting herself ready. She's got her facial mask, the cucumbers on her eyes, her hair's done up. She's got all her beauty products out here, and she has made herself ready in the past for what she's going to face. In the sky of this reading is the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords is about an abuse of power. So it's interesting, it's represented in this deck by kind of cutting out the pattern for your dress, for your style. This person is restyling themselves. Oh, that's interesting. Could that even be Kamala? And then the final outcome for that 2024 race is right here in the Magician, really pulling something out of the hat in the end. And the Magician is almost always successful. So we'll read it again. The signifier card for this 2024 race is a woman cleaning up. Okay, she's challenged by this childish Knight of getting something done, of actions. Has to be Trump. The base of this reading is this Queen of Swords who is taking those shears. She's trimming off the dead branches. I guess could be Joe Biden if that is what happens. And she's ready to wear that crown and move forward. The past of this reading is getting yourself ready, making yourself presentable for whatever it is that lays ahead. And then the sky of this reading is this kind of the same thing. Those swords, that truth, justice, rules, and law, is what's being used to fashion the pattern of the garb that she's going to wear. And then the final outcome is the Magician, really pulling everything out of the hat to make a display to your audience. So for me, it verifies Kamala will finish the race, she will win, and Donald Trump is a foolish knight. That's what I think. Like you always hear me say, you never know how the cards are going to come out. I hope you agreed with how I interpreted them. If you didn't, let me know in the comments below what you think. And also let me know what you want me to read about, because I'll read on that. Hey, I'm going to show you the cards now. Okay, so this is the Housewives Tarot, a domestic divination kit with deck and instruction book by Paul Keppel and Jude Buffum. And this is put out by Quirk Press, I guess it's called. So this is so neat. It's reminiscent of a recipe box, and it's really sturdy, solid, thick cardboard. And it's got so many cool illustrations on the outside. It was only about $16, and then it's even got here, guaranteed by the Housewife Occultists of America. Just really neat. Okay, so if we go inside, the first thing you're going to notice is that it's set up just like a recipe box. The first little card here, you'll see it says the Housewife Tarot. And then on the back of this, it just tells you about the publisher and the copyrights and that sort of thing. But the second card is labeled as the Major Arcana, okay? And then the back of it is an actual, real recipe. I mean, I've read the recipe. You can make this. This one's called the Icebox Fortune Cake, and I won't read the recipe, but I'll just tell you this cool little thing says for use with the Neapolitan spread. The spread is referring to, I think, 4 or 6 ways to divine the card, to spread the cards out. So this is for use with the Neapolitan spread, and it says here, eat this cake quickly before your past, present, and future start melting together. Really, just cute. The first section here had the Major Arcana in here separately. Of course, I've mixed up the cards and shuffled them, so it's not that anymore, but I put that little group there so you can see what it looked like. The second card here is the Minor Arcana card, recipe card. Again, another recipe that you can actually prepare. This is like deviled eggs, but they've called it here divinated eggs instead of deviled eggs. And it says for use with the dinette spread, so like a dinette table. And it says you'll never go back to deviled eggs once you've had them divinated. Really cool and a decent recipe. The third card, which I've got out of, and then of course the pip cards, the Minor Arcana with it. The third card, which was actually here, it talks about the instruction booklet. And I'll pull it out. It says, yep, instruction booklet. And then on the back, another recipe. And this is Madame Marlena's Mystical Martini. It's for use with the martini spread, which is another spread they recommend. And also it's an actual recipe you could prepare. The booklet itself is amazing. It's a really good quality of booklet, okay? It's got full color and really great, interesting divinations for the cards. But the first part is what's so cool. The first page here tells you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different spreads that you could lay the cards out in. They suggest they've developed. And then this, I'll just tell you this first little paragraph and then a last sentence, because this just gives you an idea of how quirky and how interesting this thing is written. It says right here, regarding the Mystical Housewives Tarot, the legend. According to gossip, the Housewives Tarot was introduced by housewife extraordinaire Marlene Louise Weatherby in the early 1950s. She was a happy homemaker who seemed to have it all: a devoted husband, obedient children, a sparkling home that was the talk of the town, a fashion sense to die for, and for more than her fair share of, far more than her fair share of women's intuition. Very cool. And then just the last sentence is so neat. It says here, just how exactly did Marlene acquire this mystical knowledge? Whenever pressed, she kept her lips sealed tighter than Tupperware. Marlene took her secret to the grave, bless her heart, and the origin of the Housewives Tarot shall remain shrouded in mystery forevermore. Just really, really very thoughtful, everything about this. So if you can't tell, I'm loving the deck. So that's the box. The cards, actually, they're a decent weight of cards, okay? They're not too slick. And this kind of looks like a tablecloth, doesn't it? And then let me lay them out for you. They are different, the Major Arcana and then the Minor pip cards have their own kind of color-coded sequencing here. Major Arcanas are circled in black. The cups are in blue and green for the pentacles, etc., and so forth. And they're very colorful. They're easy to divine. The only thing I would say is that this Empress, for instance, is the number 2 of the Major Arcana, and in typical Rider-Waite system, number 2 is the High Priestess. And if I'm not mistaken, the High Priestess in this was actually labeled as a number 3, which would be the Empress. So that doesn't quite
meld with the Rider-Waite system, but they're easy enough to divine because I tell you right here what this card is supposed to be. You know, I lay the cards out like this so that you get a chance to see more than just the few that come out when we do a reading, and to also give you an example of, you know, if you're doing a reading for someone, they can do this too, and lay the cards out, and you kind of get their energy if you don't particularly want them to shuffle them, which I don't particularly like people to shuffle my cards, because I kind of shuffle them not in a not in a rough manner. So here we have it, the Housewives Tarot. Really great.
Well, coming back tomorrow, I'll be doing it all again, so ciao for now.